Yes, it has started. So we will see how to draw the flowchart. Okay. So in order to draw the flowchart, either you can use the Word document. There we have the um, symbols. Okay. So in the insert, here we have the shades, and inside the shades, see here we have the option of flowchart. Okay, so here we have all these symbols. See, we can use this. This is one way to draw the flowchart. Otherwise, we have a tool set to be Raptor. Okay, so you can download Raptor tool, and there also you can draw the flowchart. It's your wish. Okay, I'm not compelling anyone that you have to use Raptor tool or that you have to use Word document. It's your choice. If you want, you can use Word document and you can draw it. Otherwise, you can go for the Raptor tool. Okay. So for
Ma'am,
now,
in
I'm
mobile.
going to explain you how to draw the flowchart with the help of, yes, in mobile. In mobile, I don't know, Pa. I will verify and tell you. Okay. Whether Raptor can be used in mobile, I don't know that. If you want, I will verify and tell you. Okay. Yes. Okay. So for now, I'm going to
Okay.
explain you how to draw the flowchart with the help of the Word document. Okay. So I'm making this in the center. Okay. So now, I told you the start and end. That is, in order to start. See here, what is flowchart? Flowchart is the step-down algorithm to find sum of two numbers. So for this, now I am going to draw the flowchart. Okay. Yes. Now, what is the first step in the algorithm? First step is start the program. Yes. For starting and ending, what is the symbol we have to use? The symbol we have to use is the terminal symbol.
Terminal.
See, under flowchart, if you keep the mouse over the symbol, it will tell you what kind of symbol it is. Okay, so here we want to use the terminator. Here we have the terminator. Can you able to view it? Is it visible?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it visible or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Here we
ma'am.
have the terminator symbol. Just click it and you can place it over here. Okay. So now after placing it over here, the next thing is we want to add text inside it. Just right click this and then select add text. Okay. And now here I can write start. Okay. Here I can write start. What is the next step? The next step is declare three variables. Okay. So here for declaration and all, we don't have any symbols. Just you can read it. Okay. Yes, we don't want to declare it separately. When we perform the read operation, automatically declaration will take place. Here for algorithm I am telling. Okay. Yes. Now the next thing is we want to read the value of A and B. Yes, to read the value of A and B, what is the symbol? That is, we are performing the read operation. That is the input operation, isn't it? Yes. For input operation, what is the symbol we have? What is the symbol we
Parallelogram.
have? Yes,
Parallelogram.
parallelogram. It is in the Word document. In under flowchart, it is given as data. Yes, we are getting the data from the user. Okay, and now here I am going to add the text. I am writing read A comma B. Okay, read A comma B. If you want, you can drag it and place it in correct place. Then after reading, what is the next thing? We want to calculate the sum, isn't it? Yes. So that is, we are calculating C is equal to A plus B. It is the process, isn't it? Yes. For performing the process, what is the symbol we have? The symbol is
Rectangle.
Rectangle.
rectangle, isn't it? Yes. Here It is given as process symbol. Now I can place the rectangle over here and I'm going to write C is equal to A plus B. Okay. And after calculating C is equal to A plus B, the last step is to print the value of sum. So for that, again, once again, we want to, what is the symbol for printing? The symbol for printing is again data, that is a parallelogram. And now here I am adding the text. So just right click and select add text so that the mouse pointer will change to the cursor. There you can write print C. Okay. And the last one is N. So once again the terminator has to be used. Now add the text and type stop. Okay, it's clear. Now we have to place the arrow, isn't it? Arrow was bending. So what arrow we have to use? This arrow. Okay, the 4 arrows were properly placed. Okay, clear? Any doubts in it? Now, there is one drawback here. While we are drawing the flow chart in the Word document. So suppose if I want to move it somewhere, yes, if I want to move it somewhere, if I drag like this, only that particular symbol alone will be dragged. So if I want to combine all these things, if I want to join all these things, what we have to do is just press the control key. Okay, press the control key and move the mouse over the symbol. See, now the mouse pointer has changed to a pointer symbol with plus. Have you seen it? Yes, the mouse pointer has
Yes,
changed
ma'am.
to a pointer symbol with a plus. Now with this, with holding the control key down, just you select all the, sorry, it went off. Just to select all the symbols which we have inserted. Okay, now release the control key and just right click, and here we can find group. There you select group. Okay, now everything was grouped, and now if I move it, all the symbols were grouped together and everything can be moved totally. Okay, clear? Yes, now you understand how to draw the flow chart. So this is a basic thing. See the diagram. So first we have started the program and then we have read the two numbers to add, that is A and B, and then we have performed the calculation C is equal to A plus B. Then the output was printed, print C and stop. So here there is no deviation. Okay, so it is in a sequence order. So we have used the arrow flow lines, that is an arrow to mention the flow lines. Okay, it's clear. Any doubts in it? Any doubts in it?
No,
Can
ma'am.
you able to
No,
draw
ma'am.
the flow chart? Can you able to draw the flow chart?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you draw for Calculate area and circumference of circle. For calculating area and circumference of circle, can you able to draw?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
How will you draw?
No.
For this also, I will tell you how to draw, and for the rest of the programs, you have to draw. Okay, that is for a sequential control. Okay, so again, first we have to start with the start symbol. Okay, add text start. Okay, and then so what are the variables we need over here? What is the formula for finding area and circumference of circle? Area
Pi r square.
pi r square, and circumference 2 pi r, isn't it?
2 pi r, ma'am.
Yes, area pi r square and circumference pi r 2 pi r. Yes. What are the input we need? What are the input we need? The input is the radius, isn't it?
Radius. Only
Yes,
radius.
radius alone is the input. And for pi, we can assign the value. What is the value for pi?
3.14.
3.14. Yes, we can assign the value for pi as 3.14. Okay. So after starting, first I am going to read the input from the user. Okay. Yes, for reading the input from the user, what is the input we have to read? Read R, isn't it? Yes, read R. And then
Radius.
yes, after reading the radius, then I have to assign the value for pi. That is again initialization. For initialization, what is the symbol we have to use? For initialization, what is the symbol we have to use? The process symbol. Okay. So just I am writing pi is equal to 3.14. Okay. Next. After assigning pi is equal to 3.14, what is the next thing? What is the next thing?
Calculate the area.
You have to calculate the area. Yes. So area is equal to pi r square. So pi r square means what?
R into
R
R.
into R. Okay. Next. Circumference is equal to 2 pi
Pi R.
R. Okay. And now what we have to do? The next thing is we want to print the area and circumference.
Area.
Print area and circumference. So print A comma C. And at last stop. See, there are two ways to type something over here. Either you can right click and select add text. Right click and select edit text or add text, or if just you can double click inside it so that you can able to type. Okay, you can use any of the options. Okay, so now see here, before adding the arrows, I want to explain you something. So first we have started, then I read the value of R, then I have assigned the value for pi, and then I calculated area, and then I calculated circumference, and area and circumference were printed. Okay. Now, my question is, can I add these three statements? That is, pi is equal to 3.14. Inside process, first I have initialized pi is equal to 3.14, and then I have calculated area, and then I have calculated circumference. Okay. So this is one option, and the next option is if you want, you can add all the statements inside same process symbol also. Okay. Yes. For example, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to enlarge this, and here I'm going to write A is equal to Pi into R into R, and then C is equal to 2 pi R. Okay, it is also correct. If you want to write like this, you don't want to add this. So, okay. Any doubts in it? So, all the three process statements were combined together into a single process symbol. Okay? Yes? This is one option. Can you able to simplify some more? Can you able to simplify some more? Instead of this three statements, can you able to reduce this to two statements? Directly by assigning the value of pi. Yes, directly by assigning the value of pi. Again, I can simplify this. Okay? Yes? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So it's your wish. Either you can write with three statements or you can write with two statements. Either you can draw the flowchart with three process symbols or you can draw with one process symbol. It's your wish. Okay. Similarly, see here, I'm printing the value of A and C. It's your wish whether you can combine or not. So here I have printed A and C in a single parallelogram symbol. If you want, you can repeat the parallelogram symbol again and you can separate as print A and then print C. It's your wish. Okay? Yes? And now I am going to insert the symbols. I'm going to insert the arrows. Clear? Now I am going to combine all these things. So any doubts in combining, just we have to press down the control key, and if you point the symbols with the help of your mouse, it will be changing to a pointer symbol with plus symbol. So by holding the control key down itself, you have to select all the symbols and then just you right click, and then you have to select group, under that again group, so that everything will be grouped together into a single diagram. Clear? Yes? Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
Shall we move to the next conditional flowchart? Yes, with the help of a decision making symbol, how to draw the flowchart? Shall we move?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we see this for finding whether the year is leap year or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For checking whether year is leap year or not, as usual, you start with the terminator. Start. And then, what is the next thing? You want to get the year from the user, isn't it? So again, parallelogram. read, year, and then what is the next thing? After reading the year, what you have to do? What you have to do after reading the year?
Year is
Yeah.
divided by 4.
You want to check the condition, isn't it? Yes. You want to check the condition if year mod 4 equals 0. This is the condition. Yes. Where the decision has to be made. With the help of what symbol the decision has to be made? With the help of the diamond symbol, isn't it? Yes. Now come inside flowchart and you can find the diamond symbol here. You select this and you place it over here. Okay. So now what is the condition we want to check? What is the condition we want to check?
Module of 4.
If
Year
year
modulo.
modulo 4 equal to 0. Yes, if year modulo 4 equal to 0. Yes, if in this case, we have to, if this condition is true, one path will be executed, and if the condition is false, another path will be executed. Isn't it? So if here mod 4 equal to 0, then what we have to do? If the condition is true, what we have to do? We have to print.
Print it
We have to print. Here is leap year. Here is
leap year.
leap year. Or else what we have to do? If the condition goes false, what we have to do? We have to
Year is not a
type
leap year.
here is not leap year. Yes. And now, after doing this, after finding whether it is leap year or not, at last we have to stop it, isn't it? Yes. So when we are stopping it, see,
Terminal.
if this condition is true, this is the flow. Yes. So I'm inserting the arrow here. So first you use the arrow without arrowhead, and then you use the arrow with arrowhead. Okay. Okay. And you can go for this side, and then with the arrowhead. Okay. So after this, once again, I'm placing the terminator here. So here, stop. And now listen. Here also, from left side also, I want to join to stop, and from right side also, I want to join with the stop terminator. Okay. So here, what we can do is, we can have an connector here. Okay. I'm using the connector here, and now I'm using the arrow. Now, can you understand in what case we are using the connector? Yes, for joining or crossing the flow lines, we can use the connector. Okay, from left side also, I want to add the arrow to stop, and from right side also, I want to join the arrow to the terminator stop. Okay, in that case, I can have a connector, and to that connector, I can connect the arrows. Okay, so it's not at over. We can add the arrows over here. Start to read here. Then after reading the year, you are checking the condition. Is it over? No.
Group.
What you have to do is, see here, if year mod 4 equal to 0, in which case it will, the flow will take the right path, and in which case the flow will take the left path. That we have to mention. Okay. So go for add, and here take this text box. Okay, and place it over here. Okay, I'm going to draw a text box over here, and I have mentioned yes, yes, if yes, or you can use true. Okay, true. If this is true, if the condition is true, then we have to take the right path. Okay. Okay, listen here. So you have to go for insert, and here we have the text box. When you select this text box, at last you have a draw text box. Select draw text box, place it over here, and draw a text box, and there you can type false or true. And in order to remove the outer box, you just right click, go for the okay. So just you select it and then go for shape outline, and there you can choose no outline. Okay, so that the outline will vanish. Okay, so now we have drawn the flow chart, and now we have to group it. Okay, for grouping again, hold down the control key, select all the symbols. So in the next class, I will teach you how to draw all these things with the help of Raptor tool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts here? See this diagram. First we are starting and then you are reading whether A is greater than B. Okay, sorry. You are reading the year and then you are checking with the modulus 4 operator, year mod 4. If it is equal to 0, then the left path will be chosen and you will get the output year is leap year. If the condition is false, it will move to the right side path and then you will get the output year is not a leap year. Okay, and in both the cases, after printing whether it is leap year or not, the control will move to stop. Okay, clear? So any doubts in it? Any doubts in this? Next, let's see to check whether A is greater than B. Okay, whether A is greater or B is greater. After that, we will see the calculator. Okay. So, shall we rewrite this? Read A comma B if A greater than B, then you have to print A is greater. Otherwise, we have to print B is greater. Okay, this is for checking whether A is greater than B. Greatest among two numbers. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall
Yes,
we see
ma'am.
greatest among three numbers? Shall we see greatest among three numbers? Okay. To find the greatest among three numbers, start with terminator, start, then you have to read three numbers, isn't it? Read A comma B comma C, and then after reading you have to check the condition. What is the first condition you have to check? What is the first condition you have to check? Whether A greater than B, isn't it? Yes. If A is greater than B, then what is the next thing we want to check? If it is true, okay. If it is true, here I am making the text box. This is true, okay. If it is true, in this case, what we have to do? Again, you want to check whether A is greater than C, okay. We can come to the conclusion A is greater only if A is greater than B and also A is greater than C, isn't it? So I have to use another one decision here, okay. So the decision is A greater than C. If both the things are satisfied, okay, if both the things are satisfied, then we can come to the conclusion, okay, then we can come to the conclusion A is greater. Okay, suppose if A greater than B and A greater than C goes false, okay, A greater than B and A greater than C goes false. So if it goes false, then what we have to do? We have to check whether B is greater than C, isn't it? So here. If it goes false, now again you have to check for the condition whether B is greater than C. If B is greater than C, wait for a minute. Okay. B is greater than C. In this case, if B is greater than C, that is, if it is true, then you can print B is greater go for text box. Here you can have true. Okay. If this B greater than C is false, then in that case, what we have to do? We have to print C is greater. Okay. So, insert text box, draw text box. If it is false. Okay. And at last, what we have to do? We have to add the connector and then add the terminator stop. Okay. Shall we add the arrows? From start to read ABC. Then from read ABC to checking whether A is greater than B. If A is greater than B, then you have to check whether A is greater than C. If A is greater than B is false and also A is greater than C is false, then you have to check whether B is greater than C. And then you have to add the arrowhead. Yes. And then okay. Next, you have to check the condition whether B is greater than C. While you are checking the condition while B is greater than C, if the condition is true, then you have to print B is greater. Otherwise, you have to print C is greater. Now you join everything to the connector. Yes, clear? Any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Can you draw the flowchart like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, for condition and sequence we have seen the flowchart. Okay. So now can you draw the flowchart for mathematical calculator? Is it possible? Yes. Before going into it, let's see what are the rules we have to follow to draw the flowchart. Okay. Yes. Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed, or do you want
Yes,
some
ma'am.
time to watch this? Okay, I'm going to proceed with the rules to follow while we are drawing the flow chart. Okay, see, the first rule is only the standard symbol should be used. Okay, you should not use any other symbols. For drawing the flow chart, we have some standard symbols. Only those symbols alone need to be used. Okay, yes, that is the first rule you have to follow. Then the next rule is the arrowhead represents the direction of flow of control. Okay, the arrowhead represents the direction of flow of control. That is, um, in which part the flow has to be moved. Okay, for indicating that, the correct arrowhead should be used for representing the flow of control. Then the next one is, while we are representing the arrowhead for flow of control, the usual direction should be top to bottom or left to right. Okay, in some conditional situation, we will be using bottom to top and from right to left. In all other cases, the usual direction should be top to bottom or from left to right. Okay, and then the next rule is, it should be clear, neat, and easy to follow. Don't make up the flowchart in a complex way. Okay, so you have to make, however, in what way we can make the flowchart easy. To up to that, you have to make it easy. Okay, yes, actually we know that diagram will speak well other than the text, isn't it? So I have represented something in text, and also the same thing was represented with the help of a diagram. Which one is very easier to understand? You take both flowchart and algorithm. Whether algorithm is understandable or flowchart is very understandable.
Flowchart, ma'am.
Flowchart is, yes,
Flowchart,
the
ma'am.
diagrammatic representation is very easy to understand, isn't it? So, while we are drawing the flowchart, you should not make the flowchart as a complex one. It should be very simple and easy one. Okay, and then the flowchart, the next rule is, the flowchart must have a logical start and finish. Okay, yes, the flowchart must have a logical start and finish. That is, always the flowchart should be started with start terminator, and it should be ended with finish terminator or end terminator. Okay, yes, that is the next rule. And now we can move to the main rules we have to know. Okay, see, while we are using the process symbol, what is a process symbol? The process symbol is rectangle, isn't it? While we are using the rectangle, we have to be clear that only one flow line should come out from the process symbol, and only one flow line should come inside the process symbol. Can you be able to understand? Yes, we can see and see with the help of the example. We have seen here, in order to calculate the area and circumference of circle. Yes, In area and circumference of circle, we have used a process symbol over here. See, for this process symbol, only one arrow should come inside the process symbol and only one arrow should go out from the process symbol. Okay, so the process symbol should accept one in arrow and one out arrow. Okay, more than one in arrow and more than one out arrow is not accepted in process symbol. Can you able to understand what is this rule? Yes, only one flow line should come out from a process symbol and only one flow line should come inside the process symbol. That is the next rule we have. Any doubts in this rule?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Next. The next rule is while we are drawing the decision symbol. Yes, when we are making the decision, yes, only one in arrow and you can have 2 or 3 out arrows. Okay, yes, only one in arrow and you can have 3 out arrows. It's your wish. One in arrow and one out arrow is accepted. One in arrow, 2 out arrow is accepted. One in arrow and 3 out arrow is accepted. Clear? But still, the in arrow should be only 1. Clear? Yes? See here. See here. Here I am checking the condition whether it is leap year or not. We have only one in arrow and we have 2 out arrows. Okay, one in arrow and 2 out arrows. It is accepted. One in arrow and 3 out arrow is also accepted. Okay, other than 3 out arrow is not accepted in case of decision making. That's what it is given. Only one flow line should enter a decision symbol. However, 2 or 3 flow lines may leave the decision symbol. It's your wish. Clear? Yes? Okay. This is the next rule. And the next rule is only one flow line is used with a terminal symbol. That is, while we are using the star terminal symbol, the star terminal symbol will not accept in arrow. It will accept only out arrow. When we come to the stop terminator, it will not accept the out arrow. It will accept only the in arrow. Can you able to understand? Yes, that is the next rule. That is, only one flow line is used with the terminal symbol. If it is stop terminator, one in arrow will be accepted. If it is start symbol, then one out arrow will be accepted. Clear? Yes. The next one is the flow line should not cross each other. Yes. What is the solution if there is some crossing of flow lines? If you want to cross some flow lines, you can connect with connector. Okay, you can connect with connector, but you should not cross the flow lines each other. And then be consistent in using names and variables. Yes. So if you are using variable A, yes, in one place you are using variable A, and in throughout, if you want to use the same variable, you have to use same variable only. You should not change the variable name. That is given here. Be consistent in using names and variables. Okay. Next, keep the flowchart as simple as possible. That we have seen already. So the diagrammatic representation is very easy to understand. So while we are drawing the flowchart, we have to keep the flowchart as simple as possible. Clear? So these are the rules we have to follow while we are drawing the flowchart. Okay. So the advantages and disadvantages are given over here. Okay. So any doubts here in the sequence and conditional flowchart? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Shall we move to the loop? Shall we move to the
Yes, ma'am.
loop? Okay, I will
Yes, ma'am.
teach
Yes,
you
ma'am.
the
Yes,
loop
ma'am.
for one example, and then in the next few classes we will revise all these things. Okay, at that time you will get familiar with all the concepts. Okay, so shall we draw the flowchart for finding factorial of a given number? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to draw the flowchart to find the factorial of a given number. Okay. So as usual, you start with the terminator. Start. And then what is the next thing? What is the next thing? What are the initializations we have to do? What are the initializations we have to do?
Fact I N.
I is equal to 1. I is
Fact
equal to 1.
fact equal to 1.
Fact is equal to 1. These are the two initializations we have to do. And then
Read
we have to read the value of n from the user. Read n. Next, after reading the value of n, what we have to do? What is the condition we have to check? What is the condition we have to check? Whether I less than or equal to n. Am I right? Yes, whether I less than or equal to n. If this condition is true, what we have to do? If this condition is true, what we have to do? With the help of the process symbol, we have to calculate. What are the calculations we have to do? Fact is equal to
Fact
fact
is
star I, and then I is equal to
I plus 1.
I is equal to I plus 1. These are the two calculations we have to do, isn't it? Yes. After performing this calculation, once again the control will move to the condition checking that we will see with the help of the flow diagram. Before that, we will complete all the symbols. At last, you have to print the factorial value, and then you have to stop. Okay. Now, coming to the flow control. From start to initialization, then from initialization to reading the value of n, and then after reading the value of n, you want to check whether I less than or equal to n. If I less than or equal to n, if the condition is true, if the condition is So if it is true, you have to process fact equal to fact star I and I is equal to I plus 1. Okay. And what we have to do, we have to repeat this. Yes, we have to repeat this until the condition goes false, isn't it? So I am bringing the control up to the condition checking again. Okay. Yes, after reading the value of n, you are checking whether I is less than n. For example, if the value of I is equal to 1, and the value of n is equal to 5, in that case, the condition is true, isn't it? If the condition is true, you'll be calculating factorial. Fact is equal to, already the fact value is 1, 1 into 1, that is 1. And then you are incrementing the value of I is equal to I plus 1. And then after this, again you have to check whether 2 is less than or equal to 5. So we have to repeat it. So I have brought the control to the condition checking. So this is if the condition is true. If suppose the condition goes false. So if the condition goes false, what we have to do? If the condition goes false,
We have to print fact equal to 1.
directly you have to print the factorial value. So you can draw like this. Okay. And then after printing the factorial value, then what we have to do? We have to stop. Okay. Yes. Understand? Any doubts in this? So here we have a loop. Okay. So until the condition goes false, we have to check whether this loop should be repeated. Until that condition I less than or equal to n goes false, you have to calculate fact is equal to fact star I and I is equal to I plus 1. Once the condition goes false, you can print the factorial value and then you can stop it. Okay, clear? Yes. So you try this for other flowcharts and come in the next class, that is on Tuesday, isn't it? On Tuesday, we can clarify all the doubts we have. Okay. On that day, I will explain you the mathematical calculator also. Clear? Yes?
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubts in today's class?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I will extend the timing for drawing the flowchart, pseudocode and algorithm. Shall I extend the timing till next week?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Already
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
given the last date as 12. Today is 11 and tomorrow is 12. It's not possible to complete by tomorrow. I will extend the timing till next week. Okay. So you have to complete
Okay.
before that. Next week we have 5 hours class. Within that you have to clarify all your doubts and you have to complete. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.